Welcome back, Spooky Nation. Welcome to the third and final episode of My Favorite Home Haunts. It has been a blast showing you some of the best home haunts in our nation here. And if you haven't figured this out by now, home haunting is something you should all be checking out. Find out what's in your neighborhood, find out what's available, and go support your local home haunts. Can't say that enough. But thank you so much for those of you, if you've been with us for all 3 episodes, all 3 volumes, do me a favor, drop a jack-o'-lantern in the comments or a pumpkin, whichever one suits your fancy. But that way I know you've been here for all 3. And once again, I can't thank you enough for the support and tuning in and watching these videos and also supporting some awesome home haunts out there, guys. Today, we're going to do something a little special. We've got a guest in the studio today, so we're going to introduce you to some really neat people. I won't say too much. I'll let you guys get a chance to meet some really neat folks here. But we'll get into that, and we'll also get into this third group of home haunts. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it, and we will see you in a minute. All right, folks. We are here with Brad and with Amber. If you guys don't know who these guys are, they are Michigan royalty as far as the haunt community goes. They keep us going. We're going to talk about some of the things they do here. They've got a few different ventures, and I want to kind of discuss that here. And as you guys get to know them, we'll go through some of the things they offer, and you can also see some of the stuff you can acquire from these guys here. But we're going to get into this, and we're going to also take a look at some home haunts here because we're still doing that. So you guys hang out here. We got a great treat here, and we got a great guest here for you. So we're going to get started, so stay tuned. All right, guys, we're back here. As I told you, we've got Brad and Amber here, and I don't want to say what company they're with because they're with several companies. So we're going to ask a few questions here and get into what they do here. So first off, I'm going to start off here by asking you guys, when and how did the Halloween bug bite you?
Ooh, when and how? I'm really going to date myself here at this point. I remember going to the trailer haunted houses downriver back in the 80s with my dad and my brother.
Nice.
That's when it all kicked off. It was definitely a love of Halloween from my father.
Awesome. So were those the JCs?
Oh, yeah, the JC trailer haunts.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. It goes way back then. I mean, what about for you?
I was traumatized into loving Halloween, I would say. My dad took me to trailer haunts when I was 5 years old, and they had to turn on all the lights and
nice.
Get me out of there.
I've been there. It's okay. I've been there too.
My first job when I turned 18, I worked at a Halloween store.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yep. So the trauma didn't stop you from going further in.
Nope.
Awesome. I love it.
The trauma led me deeper into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped trick-or-treating when I was in my 7th grade year of school, so I did my first home haunt. It would have been 1995, I believe it was.
Wow. That was golden. You guys are making me feel real old, by the way. But that's awesome. That's, you know what? That's always a good thing. I ask just about every person I talk to that, because you want to find out where the passion came from, because it really is a bug. It's an infection. I tell people all the time. I always laugh when you see somebody go, I went and bought a few decorations for the house. I'm like, I was like, here we go.
It never stops for us.
No, right.
People like us, it just goes nonstop.
Yep.
24/7, 365.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny. You watch how the obsession just slowly takes people. You know what I mean? It's like they start off with some inflatables, and then next thing you know, 2 years later, they're like, these inflatables aren't cool. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's cool. Tell me about, I know you were a haunt actor, Brad, so tell me about some of your experiences as a haunt actor, some of the places you've acted. Fetters the Clown is your AKA? Is that?
That's one of my characters.
Okay, okay, all right. I hope I didn't give anything away here. You guys, keep that, don't say anything. But yeah, tell me about how that started and some of your experiences, some of the places you've worked.
So we go back to 1995 time frame. I started building home haunts in my my front yard of my trailer park in Flat Rock, Michigan.
Wow.
And as time went on, it got more popular. Every single Halloween, we had more and more people visiting. And it got to the point, I think it was my freshman year of school, so many people came through and took the paint off our porch.
Oh, nice.
And that was the point that my family was kind of like, maybe you need to, take this and go somewhere else. So I started volunteering at a local haunted house. And I believe it was called the Real Haunted House. This is, way back in the day. From there, when I joined the military in 2000, I worked in haunted houses down in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Wow.
Worked in haunted houses in Germany, Missouri, Nebraska, back in Texas again. If we go back to 2004 time frame, Missouri, that's when I actually opened my first haunted house.
Wow.
It was called the House of Nightmares, and I had 2 more partners that did it with me as well. So
That's phenomenal. So you really have had like a national experience doing this. That's awesome. That explains some of the varied expertises you have here. So that's awesome. What was one of your best experiences as a hot actor? Or you could say let's say, we'll be fair, top 3. Top 3 best experiences.
It's hard. I'm going to lump them all into one.
Okay.
I think it's finding that person as a cue line actor, find that person who's scared and you can see they don't want to go in, and taking not taking your mask off, but dropping the character level a little bit.
Okay.
If that was a clown, for example.
Gotcha.
And taking a young kid by their hand and actually leading them through the haunted house. And it changes the whole experience because, you want to scare people and you want them to be entertained, but you don't want a little kid so terrified that they don't like the Halloween spirit anymore. If they don't like the holiday. So it's going beyond that and kind of being like an ambassador for the haunted house.
Here.
That's probably the best overall.
Here. I love that answer because I think some people can get kind of goonish around Halloween. And they're like, I just want to make people scream and curl up in fetal position. And I'm like, okay, to a degree, I kind of get that. But at the same time, it's like, you want people to come back. You want them to have fun and you want to build experiences. And I think your story, Amber, is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Like, you can traumatize somebody to where they're like, I hate this. I don't ever want to do it anymore. Or you could, similar to that, I know our first year doing a home haunt, we had, and I don't know why parents do this. So you guys, if you're a parent and you're doing this, please stop. But, you have that kid that's just freaking out there, and they're like, they don't want to go. And I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to be the harbinger of that kid's horrible experience. So I'm literally telling this lady's mom, I'm like, she can stay out front. We've got stuff to look at. People will hang out and you can go through.
We saw we were here, remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you could tell she really wanted to go through. It was mom, but the kid wanted nothing to do. She's freaking out. You know what I mean? And so, I told her, I was like, she can stay out front. And she was like, no, I want to go through the trail. And she sat there and like hammered and drug her kid through. So what I did with her daughter, I said, hey, let me show you something real quick. I went and I was like, all these they plug in, and I showed her the animatronics. Like, this is where they plug in. I was like, you see this button here? This is how we control it and turn it on and off. And then I had one of the actors, I was like, take your mask off. And he took her, I was like, see, this is a mask. You can wear these too. And, she started calming down a little bit. So, and the next thing I would always stand on the other side when we do our walkthrough trail. I would stand on the other side of the house and wait for people to come out. So I would ask them how it went and the whole 9 yards, even though I wanted to be back there playing. But I was standing out there waiting, and I was sitting there going, what is taking them so long? Because I was like really worried about the girl. I'm sitting here in a watchdog telling guys go easy. She's really scared, and you know what I mean? But they're taking along, and I'm like, oh man, does she have a meltdown back there?
Kids having fun at this point, probably.
Dude, She comes out. Here's the funny thing. She came out without her mom.
Oh.
She came out without her mom, and I was like, hey, is everything okay? She goes, oh man, I want to do it again. I want to go through again.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? And I go, where's your mom? And she goes, oh, she peed herself. And right as she told me that, her mom came out, and I made eye contact, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to know this.
Nope.
That's full circle right there.
The script flipped.
Yep. So that's awesome. But I love that. That's a great experience, and you building future, rabbit hunters, so that's awesome. So we're gonna get into some of the ventures that you guys are into. So that's gonna pull you in, Amber. I'm gonna get some information here. So one of the ventures that you guys get into, and you guys are busy. You got your irons in a lot of fires, which is crazy and awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
Wicked Wicks. Let's talk about Wicked Wicks. Yeah, Wicked Wicks. So how did Wicked Wicks start, and what was the inspiration behind it?
Okay, so I originally started making candles in 2017.
Okay.
I was doing a vintage type style, wasn't making me happy at all.
Okay.
So 2019, I decided to take a spin on everything and go in the horror direction.
Okay.
And I did not care if people wanted it or not. It made me happy.
Yep.
Yep. then I just built upon it from there.
That is
started
awesome.
selling them at the Screen Machine.
Okay.
At their merch booth, and then just kept building.
That is awesome. And by the way, if you guys don't know, they sell out fast.
Yeah,
and these candles are awesome. And you know, like I was telling you the other time, like at halftime I'm scared to burn them because I love the arts and craftsmanship, how they have that little medallion in there.
You hear
Like
that so often.
I'm like, I don't even want to burn this. I just want to sit here and just sniff it. You know what I mean? But awesome candles, awesome product. So how long have you been doing Wicked Wicks?
Since 2019.
That's wild.
So 6
That
years
is
now, right?
Yeah.
that is wild.
Yeah.
And if I was to take a rough estimate, doesn't have to be exact science, about what would be your product line offerings? How many different products do you have?
Oh God, I'd say about 25.
Awesome.
25 now and growing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then if you want, tell us about some of the different products. I know you do candles, but there's also other things you guys have. So if you want to talk about that.
We do candles, we do wax melts, little car air fresheners.
Yeah. You have some merch, you have some t-shirts that are in
Merch,
development.
t-shirts, beanies coming out. Yeah.
Can't wait for the t-shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirts and beanies. Oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble. I'll save my tax return now. That is awesome. And then I also, now, do you guys also do you do some figurines, or are those actual product too as well? I know every once in a while I see like little pumpkins or little skulls, or are those wax melts, or is...
Those are not. Those are just basically static candles.
Okay,
Yeah,
very
those
cool.
are actually beeswax, yep.
Oh, very cool.
More decorative style candle.
Awesome. Very cool. If you guys haven't, and I'm going to throw that in there, we've got a few videos where you can see their product line, but we're not going to stop there because there's a lot to cover here. So another one, which could be a positive or a negative depending on your experience, we're going to talk about, and boy, let me tell you, there's been some negative experiences out there. Yeah. Let's talk about vile root.
All right. If you want to smell like a toot, get yourself some vile root.
Nice.
I've been saving that one.
Nice.
You know, it kind of came from the evolution of how haunted houses have developed over the years, and it's the full sensory experience. I mean, you have the lighting, you have the sound, you have the scenes, you have the actors, you need the smells.
Got the fourth dimension. Yep.
Yeah, and there's other companies out there that also make smells, and the reason that we start making our own is just thinking, how can we make this better? How can we take it to a next level? How can we really pack a punch with these fear fragrances?
Right.
And I went back to like my military days, and I thought about some of my experiences, how smells are so visceral and so real.
Yeah.
And what really has impact on you. And you can smell a smell 20 years down the road, it still takes you back to that moment.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know, so it's cool to see the haunted attractions buying these, and implementing them, and the other customers reaching out to us like, "Hey, do you have this scent?
Yeah.
What do they use in this room?" And I'm like, "Well, I got you. It's right here. Go ahead and sample it." But as far as positive and negative experiences, I mean, being at the shows and having the customers come and smell them and warning them beforehand, like, "Listen, this is not lightly offensive. This is really gonna take you."
There's
back.
a gag bucket right there.
Oh, yeah. I'm gagging behind you.
I felt bad at one moment. We had one called Death, and it literally smells like a human decomposing body.
Oh, wow.
And we had this girl walk up, and she's all, she's very confident. She tells us, I know what a human body smells like.
You
I'm
think?
like, well, you may not want to smell this. I go, this is pretty realistic.
Right.
No, I want to smell it. And I cracked the bottle for her, and I have her with it, and she starts tearing up and crying.
Oh,
and I
wow.
feel bad, so I put it away. I go, you okay? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I found a loved one passed away, and that's the exact smell.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
That hurts my heart.
Yeah.
We tried to warn you, these smells are not,
Yeah.
they're not novelties.
Yeah.
They're very, very strong for a reason.
Yeah, it's for immersion. It's for full immersion, so that's
everything from a basement to the death, to the
Body odor?
to the diaper smell, to
Oh,
the
yeah.
body odor. I mean, the whole 9 yards. We have every single smell you can think of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, funny story. Speaking of which, I just first met these guys, and the first thing I get is a smell called poop. I think you gave me dirty laundry and poop.
I think I did. Yeah. Yep. I'm like, taste this.
Right. I'm like, I don't know if he's my friend or not. I really don't, but yeah, it's amazing. And so tell us about some of the other scents. Obviously, you have the crazy impactful scents, but what other ones do you have that you would probably use in certain settings?
We have more atmospheric ones too. We have a cellar kind of smell.
Okay.
Like a deep, kind of muddy sanctuary, which is like a kind of an incense smell, more like a Catholic ceremonies going on.
Right.
We have a machine room. It smells like machinery. We have a carnival scent. It smells like you're walking on the midway of a carnival.
That's awesome.
Cool because we've even seen haunt characters too who go so deep in developing their character they actually buy a scent or they've contacted me. We make custom scents for them for their character alone.
That's
that will
cool.
Fit in their scent and actually, be more immersive for them. So
that is very cool. That is very cool. So yeah, that's neat to hear too, because people don't think about all those scents and stuff like that. How much it adds to the experience. Yeah. It's like you're seeing, you're hearing. And then now you're smelling stuff, and the whole point of the haunt industry is suspension of disbelief. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that just takes you further into that. So that's awesome. That's very cool. So with those scents, are they able to get, so Wicked Wicks and Vile Root, are those something that people can get online?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. All right. So we'll throw more of that in there so you guys can see all of the offerings and what you can get here, and we'll throw the website in there. But you heard it from them. If you got a hunt and you don't have these things, you're missing something. You already know. All right. So we'll go into the reason we're here to really celebrate. There is a whole new venture you guys have, and definitely want to talk about it because it's exciting, especially for home hunters, pro hunters alike. We're going to get into TerraWorks. Recently launched. First off, before you even get into it, what was the mindset behind, okay, we need to add another leg to this process? What was the mindset? What were you guys thinking?
I have to thank Amber for pushing me to do it, but TerraWorks Entertainment actually started back in 2018.
Okay, all right, wow,
and
okay.
We started developing haunted house scenic work, working on haunted house floor plan design, everything else, and I've always want to take it to a next level, another step.
Awesome.
And, working with Deranged Haunt recently, Mike and Adam out in Deranged, great people, kind of led me to push forward with this.
Wow.
So now we're talking more to technology side, and yeah, these big haunts have this technology, but how do we bring it to the average consumer, to the home haunters, and the professional haunters alike?
Yep.
So now we're bringing professional level, trickery for a haunted house down to basic, industry level. So
that's awesome.
Affordable.
That's awesome. That's huge. That's huge. Because I say this all the time, and I know people probably get tired of hearing me say it, but I think the gap between home hunting and pro hunting, it really is starting to get thin.
It's closing.
And I've always said that economically, home hunting is never going anywhere. And people, as they become more aware, I think there's still a lack of awareness for people knowing that, I've talked about it before, and you guys probably know about it, but Fright Maps, a great invention that allows the average person who doesn't know anything about home hunting to pull it up on their phone, and you'd be surprised. I do it every time I'm traveling. I pull it up and I'm like, let me just see what's in the area.
Oh, yeah.
And I've come to a conclusion that there's something not far from you, and you just got to pull that app up. Mm-hmm. So, but as that becomes more prominent, I think people are going to realize, if I got a family of 5 and I got $80 a ticket, you do the math on that. It's, that may not be feasible, but guess what? If you go someplace and it's going to cost you a can of beans.
Yep.
Then hey,
and you're helping a good cause.
Absolutely. So I think it's awesome to see that, and I've seen it evolve, but it's continuing to evolve. And with some of the products you're offering here, I just see just an even wider scope of professional feel to some of these home haunts. So
we talk about that gap closing slowly, or actually quite fast. Actually,
yeah,
we're gonna slam that gap shut.
I love it. I love it.
That's why TerraWorks Entertainment's here.
I love it.
To really just close it down and be like, you know what, you can bring that pro level to your backyard, to your garage, at an affordable cost.
That is awesome. That's awesome. So guys, this is exciting. So I'm not gonna we're gonna get into the home haunts and stuff, but I really want to take a look and really have you guys see some of this and how it works here. So we're gonna get into the demos. So we're gonna pause for a minute and come back and show you what TerraWorks offers. And by the way, man, this logo, how cool is this? This is the logo. This is the product. We got some really cool stuff here. We're gonna get into it, so hang in there. We're gonna take a look at some of the devices here for TerraWorks here. I guess we're gonna start from this side and work our way over here. So let's start with this guy here. We'll zoom in here. Tell us about what we're looking at here.
So this is our Terror Tunes. It's a triggerable MP3 player. It's also expandable with the SD card slot, volume adjusting, the whole 9 yards. This will allow the professional haunt or the home haunter to trigger their sounds based off of hand triggers, foot pedals, PIR sensors, any kind of remote trigger they want to do. They got all implemented through here. So small, tight little package.
That's awesome.
Packs a big punch.
And so this could be hooked up to like what external speakers, stuff
totally,
like that. Yep. Okay, that is super cool. And I'm assuming you can preload your media, like if you've got a soundscape, like if you got crickets, I'm pretty sure you can. How many different channels can you do, or is it specific to one sound?
So there's multiple modes of operation for this thing, but it has an internal flash drive, or expandable with the SD card slot as well.
Okay.
The SD card slot can support the 32 gigabytes, so your audio can run forever.
Oh wow, that is so you basically can loop it.
Correct. Yep.
That is, man. Here we go. We're talking about that gap closing. That is a game changer right there. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna move over here. What are we looking at here?
So this is our LED controller. This is one thing I contemplated and chewed on not even releasing because it's kind of an industry secret. So there's no need to buy a strobe light anymore. You wire this into your system and you can control your strobing effect. You can do flashing, pulsing. You can create a light flickering effect, like a light's burning out.
Yeah.
This is the website price for $11.99, but I mean, this is really a game changer here.
Wow. Guys, that's insane. That is a game changer. All right, let's move over here.
Over to this is called our Scare Stomper. This is a foot pedal. It's a activated switch for our scare boxes by using your foot. It is industrial grade. It is metal with a rubber plate in the front of it as well. We didn't want to bring plastic to the industry.
Gotcha.
This can definitely be used and can take the abuse of a haunt actor. Gotcha.
Now, is that safe to be out in the elements?
It's safer than a reason. Obviously, it has electrical components inside of it. It is metal, so it can rust over time.
Okay, so you don't want to leave it out.
No, don't leave it out overnight. Bring it in when your operation's over.
Gotcha. Very cool. Good to know. That's awesome. So basically, that means that could trigger any number of different animations or things, or is it specifically for your screen boxes?
Your possibilities are endless.
Oh wow!
There's a normally open operation, normally closed operation. You can wire it to any kind of scenic effect you want. It could trigger the TerraTunes player. It could trigger lights. It could trigger scare boxes. So literally, anytime you need a switch or an on and off button,
you step on it.
Yep.
That is awesome. All right, we'll move on to the next one here.
And then there's the option where, like, say a foot pedal is not really going to work for your actor or for your scene.
Yeah.
We have hand activated switches as well.
I love that.
So it's a momentary on switch. You push the button, it'll trigger your effect or lights or sounds.
That way you don't have to worry about losing something if it's a dark environment. You got it in your hand.
Oh, yeah, correct. Yep.
Yeah.
And haunts can hang it in their scene so the haunt actor knows where it's located at. Fire the effect off, do the scare, and then move forward.
That's awesome. And it's funny. I think about it from my standpoint. A lot of times I'm the tech guy. So when things go wrong, and I am not technical, I don't like saying that because I'm not technical, but when it comes to fixing foggers and, this animatronic's not working, I'm the guy that they radio and I come and try to go fix it. But knowing you have something like this gives people the confidence to operate things, because no one ever wants to touch it. But now you got to go, all you got to do is hit the button, man. That's it.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty easy.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. All right. So now we're going to move over to this here.
This is our wireless scare box here. Now, super small size. This thing packs a punch. I clocked it at 115 decibels.
Wow.
At about 6 feet.
Wow.
And if I was smart about it, I wouldn't have kept firing off because it did hurt after a while. So great for high pitched sounds, screams, squeals, pig noises.
Wow. Okay, so that definitely is one of those shock trauma props there. So I'm assuming you probably your placement of this is crucial.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's awesome, dude. That is super. And that's the remote prop that controls it?
Yeah, the wireless version goes for $119.99 on the website.
Okay.
We do a wired version at all. It's also triggered.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And these are like, you talk about, these are prices that make sense to people. That's awesome. That is very cool.
Being a haunter at heart, it's like you want to make sure this is all affordable and everyone can grab a new item and update their haunts and really bring something new each year.
Okay, so. Awesome. Very cool. I love it. All right, now we are starting on the board here. This is what you're going to see at some of the shows here. This is their line here, and we got some products that we are going to show you live how these things work here. So I'm excited. So tell us about what we're about to see here.
So the basic setup here is for our Shockwave scare box. This is a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
This is super easy to set up. It was going to give you those powerful universal type scares where the strobe goes off with the sound of the actor.
Okay.
It's all 12 volt DC powered. It has a box mount illuminate push button for your actor. It comes with 3 custom standard sounds. It is expandable here as well with a micro SD slot in the bottom.
Okay.
So your audio can take over. I have outputs for a switch, speaker, the input for the 12-volt DC, and also the speaker output.
Awesome.
We have options to upgrade for a powered speaker. For this demonstration here, we are going to run passive speakers.
Okay.
And even with the passive speakers, the internal amplifier is going to blow your head off.
Okay, so just a quick question, not that people can see, but if I'm using those guys over there, I could basically patch those in?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. Very cool.
With that being the powered speaker, you want to have the update for it for the powered speaker output.
Okay, very cool.
But even with the powered speaker output, you still have the standard output here for the passive speakers as well.
Very cool. Okay, I'm excited. All right, man.
Where do you see
So yeah,
it?
it's, before we press forward with that, we have it wired here for demonstration to our 12-volt DC floodlight. This is a 30-watt bright white.
Okay.
Also run our 12-volt DC power supply as well.
Okay, so that way they can emulate the effect that we're
Correct.
going to see. Okay,
Now,
very
if you
cool.
visualize like, an actor popping out, even like a drop window or even a bigger scenic scare.
Okay.
The actor can use the foot pedal, the hand pedal, or even push the button here as well. So,
Very cool.
Fire it off.
All right, ready?
All right, let's do it.
So every time
Holy
it's
smokes.
hit, you can trigger a different sound every time with your micro SD card. This comes standard with the 3 sounds alone.
Don't we play the other one?
That
go
is sick.
Okay. All right, this is the second one.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, and 3.
I really love 3. Oh my God, I love them all.
So it's all packaged in this box here. It is not 100% weatherproof. It is weather resistant.
Okay,
So you still want to protect it, but it's not going to be harmful to use outside.
gotcha. So you could probably insulate, maybe put it in like a boxed area.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know some people make boxes for their projectors
Yeah.
and things of that nature. I'm assuming you probably do something similar for that.
Correct, yep.
Okay. And then if you've got an all-weather speaker, you're good to go. Now with this package, do you get speakers with it, or do you is it kind of you can go either or?
Now we're thinking about carrying the speakers as well as an additional upcharge.
Okay.
But the basic cost would be for the scare box itself. There is options online to add additional components as well.
Okay, gotcha.
So-
But other than that, you could just hook it up to a speaker and you're good to go. So if you've got all-weather speakers, you just hook them up and rock out from there.
For less than $200, you can walk away with the full package.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. And I'll tell you guys, I'm not going to say any names, but I know the standard scare box, from what I've seen, especially for one that's going to be pretty significant, you're talking about $500 easily. So that is phenomenal. Very cool. Very cool. So let's talk about what are some of the applications you think would be great for using this?
It's limitless almost anywhere. I mean, if you have a basic scare window or like a drop window, you're not getting the right scare out of it. Or say you have a spot where an actor is not so vocal, but they need to have the impactful scare.
Yeah.
You pair them with this, it brings them up.
That is awesome. And when we talked earlier, I kind of clue people in on one of the conversations we had. If you've ever been to Halloween Horror Nights, they use this effect quite a bit to really give some oomph to the actors. Especially they were using it big in COVID because they had glass plates covering the actors up, which that really kind of cut down on the interaction. So only thing they had to really give more punch to it was this kind of an effect. So that's really neat. But the fact that you can use it and still have an active environment, that is, guys, I'm telling you right now, this is probably more than likely going to be in our trail this year. So I shouldn't even be saying that. I'm giving away secrets. Yeah, maybe it won't be. Maybe it won't be.
You heard it here first.
So very cool, awesome. Well, thank you guys. That was awesome. So very cool.
Thank
All
you.
right. So guys, if you're a home hunter, if you're a pro hunter, and you're in the Michigan area, if you're in the Midwest, guys, you guys come on out. These guys, what are some of the shows we're going to be seeing you guys at?
The first one we're going to be unveiling this at is at halfway to Halloween.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Make it on down to Ann Arbor.
Favorite show.
Yep. If you haven't seen it, you can check. Scare Factory got some videos. You can see in our library. It is a phenomenal show, and it just keeps getting bigger. That's the crazy. It just keeps getting bigger and better.
Yeah, it's a great show.
So very cool, very cool. And will you guys be at the what is that? Why can I not think? Wicked Bazaar.
We'll be at Wicks Bazaar as well.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll be
Wicked
there
Bazaar.
in
Awesome.
September.
So one thing we don't have here today, we actually are bringing to the show is we're going to have some foam costume weapons as well. trailer to be gored up.
Nice.
And we're going to have a whole selection of costumes as well.
That's another thing we didn't talk about. So I'm going to jump into that. You guys also have some, if you've ever seen the Wicks booth, you've always seen some very cool characters, garnishing that whole outfit. And now you guys do the costuming for these?
Correct, yep.
Very cool. So I'm going to have you guys give me some media or some pictures and stuff, and I'll throw those in here as we're looking at this. You can see some of the work they've done. Now, do you guys also sell those costumes as well?
Yes.
Very cool. Yep. So, and trust me, this stuff is pro freaking level. So, awesome. All right, we're going to get into some of the home haunting stuff here, but I wanted to get a chance to show you guys the myriad of things you can get from these two individuals here who are, like I said, Michigan haunt royalty here. They provide stuff for all of us here. You got candles, you've got smells, and you've got effects. You've got pretty much everything you need to run a pro operation here. So, all right, we'll stop here and we'll get into everything else here. All right, this first video we're going to get into today is going to be New England Haunter. This is their 2024 yard haunt. This guy... let me not talk. Let me show. Let's get into it. Here we go. Man, the pedestals that he's got there, or the columns, whatever you want to call them, that green light that he's got on there. Oh, man, that looks so ominous. It just looks eerie and evil. It looks amazing. I love that. I love the way the lightning effect looks in the cemetery. It's the killer thing is, I think a lot of these props are DIY that he's put together, and they look amazing. Wow. Would you look at this? This is a scene, guys. This is a scene. That's cool. I love that. The way that was triggered is awesome. Oh, that is wicked. Gotta have a cauldron creep. It's one thing I've never ever been able to get in my haunt, and one thing I want. Oh my gosh. Movement is so smooth on these props. I love that. There's so much subtle detail that I'm pretty sure he appreciates people seeing. I see the detail. I see what you did. The texture on some of the stuff and props and the corpsing that you did looks great. All right, guys, we're back, and we've looked at some awesome haunts here, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it, but we wanted to kind of get into the woods here, and we wanted to start off by talking about New England Haunter. First off, I'm going to open up the floor for you guys. What are some of the things you really enjoyed about seeing the setup he had?
Definitely the homemade props.
Yeah.
Mechanisms, cool. Very smooth.
Yeah. Yep. By the way, what are you using for your motors on that? Because
it's some next level stuff. How they're moving. It's really nice.
Yeah, not only is the movement smooth, but they're quiet. A lot of times, you see these homemade props, and one of the big problems with them is that they're so noisy that they just distract you from everything else that's happening. But those were nice and quiet, very minimal noise. So please elaborate and tell us what you're using. We like to know. So. Anything else that stood out to you?
The lighting was good too.
Yeah. The lighting was good.
Yep.
Color theory was used well.
Yep. I definitely saw that, and I loved. I don't know if the fog was plumb, but I love how the fog was just in certain areas, and it wasn't just flowing all over the place, and it gave it this really kind of almost ethereal look to it. It was really cool. It was really cool. And yes, I agree. The lighting was very cool. I loved it, and it wasn't all over the place. It was very almost to some points it was muted, but I love the way it was used. So, but props to you here. Those DIY props looked great.
Yeah, excellent job.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So, yep, we can't wait to see what you do this year. And awesome, guys. And drop some comments. Let us know what you thought of New England Haunter. You can also check him out. Check out his channel. He has a channel. He does DIYs here on YouTube. Don't miss it. He has some great content, and you could probably learn some pretty cool new tricks here. So, New England Haunter, guys, great job. We love what you did. All right, this next one we're going to get into is one that you're not unfamiliar with. We've done these guys before. This is Blood Moon Cemetery, and as always, it is an absolute blast to see what they get up to. Let's take a look at what they did for 2024. Blood Moon Cemetery. Here we go. I love the fact they added a daytime perspective to this video. That is so cool. Gotta love that well. That is just, I love that well. All the leaves look add such texture. Beautiful. I'm imagining an actor could hide in that crypt, which is super cool. This is so well done. My goodness. It never gets old looking at this. It never gets old. Guys, the biggest compliment to a haunt designer is for their creations to look amazing in the day. And this looks like art during the day. It looks like art. Look at the precision that these props are made with. Just, my goodness. I mean, I want to go take pictures of that during the day just as much as I do at night. Once again, detail off the chains. I mean, my goodness. That is such a beautiful piece. And the carriage, that carriage he made, my goodness. Look at this. My word. That is astounding. My goodness. Everything, the detail on everything holds up during the daylight. Would you look at that? My goodness. I love the lighting on that. I love the lighting on that. Jeez. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That is a view. Now we can see the scope of what he did. That is kudos. Great work. Great work. I love that. I love it. That's awesome. Holy smokes. Blood Moon Cemetery. If you know, they are not new to this series. We've done them before, and it never gets old. One of the things that always blows me away is just the fabrication is, it's crazy. It is crazy. Oh, yeah. Like, man, you know, it's humbling to see what you do. As always. But, and I love the fact that you did daytime and nighttime views, yes, which is cool. It gives you perspective on what you created. And I was like, man, more people should do that. I never thought about that. That's brilliant, believe it or not. So what are some of the thoughts you guys have? Blood Moon.
I said loving it in the daylight. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
In daylight too, which...
That's
major props.
Yes, that is a high compliment because I know from personally speaking, I want to just throw a blanket on stuff during the day. So because the nighttime is the backdrop that ultimately makes your stuff look great. Yeah. But the fact that looks great in the day is insane. That's
realistic. It was purposeful.
Yeah. Things
were placed perfect. The lighting was flashing in the appropriate directions. I mean, it was great all the way around.
Yep, I definitely agree. And man, if you ever want to sell any of those props, you let us know because those are phenomenal. So, man, boy, and I can't imagine if there was some TerraWorks stuff in the cards for.
We can set it off.
Food for thought. But yes, once again, awesome work. You guys, every year you kill it. And it never gets old. And I'm sure your community loves. And hopefully those woodpeckers don't terrorize you too much more. We'll try to get some pest control for you out there. Dang woodpeckers, you know. I'm worried about wind. You're worried about animals. So, yeah, props to you. Great job. Great work.
Great job.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what you do this year. So, all right, this last one here, Nightmare, used to be Nightmare on Geier Manor. It is now Geier Manor, or Nightmare on Geier Street, I believe it used to be. We actually went to this when we were in Chicago. They're in the Chicago area, also part of the Chicago Hunt Builders Group. But this here is Geier Manor. And if you haven't seen the video of our walkthrough, we're going to give you a chance to see them without the distraction of us being in there. So check this out. I'm going to get in it. Let's get into it. And the environment just pulls you in right away. It is creepy, guys. This is creepy. This is nightmare fuel. Yeah, this is super creepville. Rick does a good job of making you feel uncomfortable. Yes, that did freak Jamie out. Yes, it did. It freaked her out more than once. That's a thing of beauty. Wow, that's a thing of beauty right there. The hanging vines, the moss, the overhang, the coverage, and the brilliance of that laser swamp. And then you've got this nice, terrifying image in red right at the end of the hallway. That's what you call dramatic staging, guys. Look at this wall. Jamie fell in love with this wall, and why wouldn't she? Those are all pumpkins lit up and covered in this black ooze, which I'm sure is probably either great stuff or expanding foam, but it looks amazing. Yeah, this is definitely a creeper. This is so creepy. Whoever says animatronics cannot deliver jump scares obviously hasn't met this guy. The environments are elaborate, very well themed out. Man, this is pro level, guys. This is pro level. It really is. Last but not least, Geier Manor, formerly Nightmare on Geier Street. As you know, when we went out to Chicago and did our tour of some of the home haunts out there, this is one of the ones we hit, and I want to get a chance to feature their work. Rick also does props, silent screen props. Shout out to that. If you're at Midwest Haunters Convention, you can see some of his creations there. He's also on TikTok. Also on YouTube and all of your social media, Instagram, but you can see some of his work. A lot of those were DIY props, and he sells that. So if you like what you see, I'm pretty sure it's in the catalog somewhere. So heads up. But this is probably one of the most creepy walkthroughs for a home haunt. I mean, it'd make your skin crawl. It really will.
You can feel it through the video screen. I mean, you can, you know?
Yeah. That says a lot.
You say DIY props, I'm like, that's professional looking. That was good. You know?
Oh yeah. And the thing that blows me away, I've always said, you want to talk about a benchmark laser swamp, dude. That you need to be doing a laser swamp class, Rick. Big time.
Yes. Call some of the haunts in Michigan and get some pointers.
I will take your class. And be your Padawan all day long. So what are some of your thoughts on Geier Manor?
You kind of covered it. I mean, overall, just the whole ambiance of the whole thing, walking in was kind of ominous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the tight feeling of it. I wasn't expecting that laser swamp.
Yeah.
But that was beautiful. It looked great.
Right.
Color was used great as well. I noticed the audio was on point. When those scares kick off, I mean, you can definitely feel the audio coming through. So.
Soundscaping. Yeah, great job on soundscaping, and that's one of those things that people may forget sometimes. And I think as home hunters, that's obviously an opportunity for most of us. Heck, I would like to grow in it. It's just that I suck at technology and understanding how to use things. But soundscaping is so huge. You know what I mean? The sound of crickets, or just anything. The way you set it up is huge, and so big props for you on that here. If you guys are in the Chicago area, make sure you get out. They are part of the Chicago Haunt Builders Group. Get out to see Geier Manor. They are awesome. They're probably on the far end of the spectrum there, but don't let that deter you from getting out to see what is a pretty awesome haunt. It is definitely worth its weight in gold. So
I would say the distractions too.
Oh, yeah.
I was expecting that pig to come out.
Yeah.
And then when that head turned, got me on TV.
And that, that's saying something. If you can startle somebody through a TV screen, that is huge. Normally I always said that scares don't translate to video. It never does. It's like you just can't. It's one of those things that you have to be there. But those are startling, and I think once again it comes down to the soundscaping. Is that these loud blaring speakers and the sounds that you're using. Which I can't wait to incorporate that. That's one of the most things I'm excited about that you guys are offering. That is just insane. So, but yeah, hats off to you, Rick. You and your wife do an amazing job as always. And like I said, go check them out and go check out their socials. But that is everything we have, and that's going to be the close of our series for my favorite home haunts. And I know I didn't get to everybody this year, but hopefully we will be able to add some new players in next year. Like I said, I need to do 10 episodes to really capture everybody here. So if I missed you, just reach out to me and I will queue you up for next year for sure. But that's it, guys. Thanks again for Worx, Wicks, Vile Root. They are all of these things. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us and sharing the new line.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. And you guys, if you want, we're going to also show you where you can go and order any of these things online. They are online. And if you want to see them live, definitely come on out to Halfway to Halloween. You should come on out anyway because it's going to be an awesome show. If you miss them there, you can also catch them at Wicks. So don't miss out. You definitely want to get a chance if you want to see these products live. But if you can't make it, they're just a click away, right? Yep. And if you want to just shout out whatever social pieces that they can find you guys on.
I first want to say shout out to all the home haunts for really keeping the spirit going. Those are all great. We watched all your videos in the whole series, and it's really cool to see everything coming together across those platforms. So as far as getting a hold of us, if you go to burnwicked.com, that's the main website you go to. From burnwicked.com, you can actually get Vile Root, and you can also see Worx as well. So burnwicked.com for Wicked Wicks Soyco.
Yep. Instagram, Wicked Wicks. Yep. Right. And then Facebook is Wicked Wicks Soyco.
All right. And be on the lookout for those shirts, guys, and beanies, and did you say hoodies too?
They're coming.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Because a hoodie is an essential piece of wardrobe, guys. Just so you know. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next adventure. All right. Cool beans. Thank you, guys. Great job, man. You guys did killer. You did killer. Amber, you're a natural.
Oh, God, you're
I hope it's